because for those of you who have never been to the judiciary website, it's very easy to find. If you want to Google it, I usually tell people to just look up Hawaii Judiciary. This is our Hawaii State Judiciary website. On the left hand side, there's a navigation pane with a link for e-filing. You can go there, or if you want to use the attorneys menu at the top, you have the civil JEFS information, and right below that is our e-filing link. E-filing through the Judiciary Electronic Filing and Service System is a free service. You will need to have an account, and registration is very simple. You can log in by clicking on the link here on the page and register for access. If you don't already have an account, you can do so ahead of time. The civil electronic filing for district courts will begin in October 7th. 3 weeks after that, circuit court civil case filing will begin on October 28th, and land and tax court will begin electronic filing on November 18th. And so you're free to go ahead and register for access ahead of time. You can go to the JEFS login page and click on Register for Access. Each field which has an asterisk is required. And so we just need basic information about you. We'll just need to know your first name and last name. If you are an attorney, for your role, select attorney. We will need to know your Hawaii State Bar Association bar ID number. For the person who just joined, please put your phone on mute. Thank you. You can enter in your 3, 4, or 5-digit bar ID number here. For attorneys who have support staff in your firm or your law practice, if you have a legal secretary, paralegal, or other person who's assisting you with the filings or will be reviewing the notices of electronic filing, they can have their own account. That's allowed under the rules. And of course, for firm staff, they will not have a bar ID number to enter. Your contact information should be entered in below. All of the phone contact fields are optional and not required. However, if there is a question about the filing, sometimes it is a good idea to have a phone contact listed here, but it's not required. The main thing that we'll need will be your primary email address and your mailing address. Your primary email address should be something that is easy for you to access, and it should be an email address that is not already associated to another JEFS account. The system will not validate your email address, so I always warn people to take extra care to make sure that your primary email address is typed in correctly. So say if you leave off some letters or you add a few extra ones by mistake, you will be allowed to register with that primary email address. So take care to enter that in correctly. The primary email will be the email to which all of the notice of electronic filing emails are sent. And you will need to know your primary email if you ever need to reset your password. So your primary email is very important. The secondary email is optional. And this is where someone can enter in their work email address as primary and their personal, so that while they're traveling or away from the office, if you need to check for your notices, you can do that if you don't have access to your work email outside of the office. The secondary email does not have to be unique. In other words, the secondary email can be repeated and used for multiple JEFS accounts. And so in your office, if you have a number of attorneys who share a support person, legal secretary or paralegal. Attorney 1 can list his or her paralegal's email address here. Attorney 2 can list the same secondary email address here. That way, whatever support staff you have in your office, that person can also have access to your notice of electronic filing emails and keep track of the things that are being filed in your cases. Of course, your mailing address is required. It does not have to be in the state of Hawaii. We do have people filing from other locations, but you must be an active attorney with the Hawaii State Bar Association. Once you've entered in all of your information, you can click on Submit, and you will get a confirmation message at the bottom of the screen. It'll show your user ID, which will start with the letters WEBU. Your WebU number is needed for you to log in. It will not change. And your temporary password will also be shown at the bottom of the screen. Your WebUID number and your temporary password will be emailed to your primary email address. So keep an eye out for that email. If you don't receive that email in your inbox, you may want to check your trash or spam folder and make sure that your email account is ready to receive emails from e-filing at courts.hawaii.gov. We have had instances where electronic filers may have some issues receiving their notices because for whatever reason emails from that address are blocked. So you want to make sure that you have that email allowed from e-filing at hawaii.courts. Okay, this is how you register for your JEFS account. You will need to activate your account, and so if you belong to a firm that has an organization administrator, please let your organization administrator know that you've registered, and that person can assist you in activating your account. Otherwise, if you're a sole practitioner or you do not have an organization administrator for your law office, you may contact the court and let us know, and someone will be happy to help you. Which brings us to the resources listed on the Hawaii State Judiciary e-filing page. So I do want to scroll to the bottom of the page and let you know about some of the contact information here. Under JEFS Help, these are the phone numbers and email addresses that you can use in order to contact us if you have any issues registering for your JEFS account, and once you start electronically filing, if you have any problems uploading your documents, if you have any problems accessing your documents once they're filed, if for whatever reason there's an error in the filing, please contact the relevant court to get assistance to correct that error.